Years ago, I found myself frustrated one night when I'm sleeping next to this partner I really adore, I really care for, and it was a cold night, and I only had this tiny, teeny tiny sliver of blanket. They had all the rest of the blanket on the other side. I don't know if any of you have experienced this before. If so, you can raise your hand. I came to a realization. Have you noticed when you're in bed with a partner, you're under the same blanket? And whenever they pull the blanket a little bit their way, you get a little less blanket. When you pull it your way, they get a little less blanket. Whenever they move, they wake you up a little bit, right? I don't know if you're a light sleeper like I am, a little bit of a light sleeper. So this realization made me think of something quite smart. What if we had two blankets? What did I do? I went out and I bought a second blanket. Now each person has their own blanket. No one can hog the covers. You have your blanket, they have their blanket. You know, if someone prefers a little bit thicker blanket because they get cold easily, they can have that one. If you need a little thinner blanket because you run a little hot like I do, I'm a little on the warmer side, you have a little bit of a thinner blanket. Some people want a thick comforter, some people want a quilt, it could be anything. But in a bigger way, this made me realize this is a greater metaphor for relationships. Most of the time we have beliefs that our happiness and our well-being is tied to another person. That's how in general we see societies as this way, especially in marriage, relationships, children, all of this. If they pull the blanket their way, we're gonna have less blanket. That's the way we think of it, right? Tied to this person, quite physically. But this doesn't need to be the truth. The concept of the two blanket system was born. Think of a couple deciding where to eat. Where are we going to eat tonight? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? How many of you had this conversation a million times, right? Two blanket system. You get what you want, they get what they want. Perfect. We can independently choose what's best for each of us. We often think our partner needs to do something in order to make us happy, right? If they're not taking us on dates, we're not happy. Right? Two blanket system, again. When we tie ourselves and our own happiness and well-being to another person, we're like sharing this blanket of our happiness, our well-being, we are in trouble. Whenever we tie our happiness to someone else, we're always going to be disappointed. Instead, this is a wonderful thing. We can have separate lives, we can have separate things, and we can be enjoying life independently and come together. If your partner snores, go stay in a separate room. Take care of yourself first. Make sure you're well rested. That's really important. If you want to travel somewhere and your partner doesn't want to travel there, go travel there by yourself. Go enjoy by yourself. Take care of yourself first. That's why this two blanket system is so good. You want to try a restaurant? You go by yourself. You go enjoy it. They don't need to agree with everything you want to do. So many people think relationships are so full of compromise. You don't need to compromise. Two blanket system. Take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself foremost. Make your happiness and well-being the most important thing in your life. Let them take care of themselves and their own well-being and their own happiness, and let them be free to explore that fully. That's how we create really magical, wonderful relationships where each person is free to be their happiest, their most blissful, and their most free. And for those of you who want to sleep better, get yourself the blanket you like.